What up, Jack?
Hi.
Oh, I think they can see both of us. I guess we're gonna find out. Another week has come and gone. We didn't pound the Metro a ton. He's gonna tell you a fish story of a big fish he caught. He broke the cabin record. He got another personal best. Pretty epic weekend for him. We chased fish kind of all over the place. Found water temps holding in the low 70s. We did find some water as low as 68, 69 degrees to start the day. So things are starting to, you can say, drop a bit. We had some cooler nights. We wore sweatshirts. We wore sweatshirts at the Minnesota State Fair almost the entire day. I think it was a Thursday. Thursday, it was only into the 60s for a high. Friday was chilly. Saturday was chilly. It felt awesome. And what it did is it kind of stirred these fish up. It moved them a little bit. We found them in a bunch of different ways. There's Brody. What's up, Brody? Hi. Brody caught a bunch of fish this weekend, and we chased them all over the place. We caught them anywhere from 2 feet of water, as deep as 16 feet of water. Our biggest bass this week came in about 3 feet. 3 feet of water. That was caught by my lovely wife, Tara. She caught our biggest bass of the weekend at the cabin, and that was over in western Wisconsin. Very similar as where we are here in the Twin Cities in terms of water temperatures, condition, pattern, all that sort of stuff. She caught that fish on a weedless Kamita, weedless stick bait, soft stick bait like a Senko. She caught that in a weedless rig. Caught a bunch of fish doing that. Callie caught all her fish doing that in like 3 to 6, 7 feet of water. We caught a bunch of fish on a chatterbait. I caught most of my fish just chucking a chatterbait, getting out of the way of the kids and the family members and just covering water. Jack caught his fish on a jig worm, on a chatterbait, on a buzzbait, on a crankbait. I don't know. How many different ways you catch your fish?
A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I for sure tested out a lot of stuff to see what worked and what didn't. And honestly, I think a lot of stuff worked. It wasn't mainly just one thing. Like, we did catch a lot of fish on one thing, but I also realized when I changed it up, the fish didn't stop biting. So
yeah, you caught fish a variety of ways. I was pretty much, I did flip a little bit with a tube and a heavy flipping weight. I caught a couple fish on a jig worm at the cabin. Of course, in the Metro, the jig worm's still working. I'll tell you what, though, if I'm going to go fishing tomorrow, I'm going to hit inside turns. There was a very unique pattern that I thought was pretty consistent for where we were fishing all over the place this week. Is a lot of main lake expansive weed flats, spots that these fish are going to stack up on here in the next coming weeks as water temps drop into the 60s and stay there. They're going to start stacking back up onto these shallow weed flats. And as these dock owners and shoreline owners, or I should say lakeshore owners, start pulling their docks, you're going to see a lot of fish set up on those spots. So once the docks come off, you start to see fish move up against those sandbanks, but they're still just staging these shallow weeds. And what I found to be very, very, very true this week is any of those inside turns. So you got a big, pardon my my weed display here, but you got a big weed flat. Here's the shoreline. Weed flat coming out. Big conglomerate of weeds. These inside turns here and here, going up to shore, deepest break line is where we're seeing a lot of our fish and our better fish for sure. So this inside turns, these fish are clearly starting to stage for this late summer, early fall transition. It's very apparent. The bluegills are in there. How many bluegills we see up shallow?
we saw a lot of them.
Yeah, bluegills,
Hundreds.
shiners, perch, baby muskies, everything was up shallow. And you're seeing that transition start to happen. And guess what happens when those bait fish, that forage moves up shallow? So does the bass, so does the pike, so does the, what else? Muskie. Fine, let the cat out of the bag. Tell them what you caught this weekend.
So we got to our first spot. We were going down the shoreline, and we was using a jig worm like I normally do for bass. And I cast up, and I feel a hard thump. And I set the hook, and all I feel is my rod just start moving, and boom, boom. And I look right at my dad, and I say, it's a muskie. Fast forward 5 minutes of fighting and dipping out of the water. We got up this muskie, 43 inches and about what, probably 20 pounds.
It was a real fat 43-inch muskie. Yeah.
And that's for sure being my PB. My OPB was like 35, and I caught that one like a long time ago. But fun fight, and got a few more bass on the jig worm, but I don't know. I mean,
the muskie was awesome.
The muskie was awesome. I don't even know if we caught that many else. We caught like 5 more on that time fishing bass.
Yeah.
That muskie
That muskie was awesome. Pretty awesome. And cool story too. The rod he was using was his brother's, Benny, and Benny caught a 38-inch muskie on that exact same rod this summer on Wapagasset and won a rod and reel combo for the biggest fish at fish camp. So the exact same rod catches a 38-inch muskie and a 43-inch muskie on the same lake this summer. So pretty darn cool. I got to experience it. We thought we were going to lose it a couple times.
He'd start pulling, and then I'm like, he's gone. Oh, he's back. Reeled him up. Get him right there. He goes into the boat. Zzz, he's gone. It happened like 4 more times. We got him back up. Finally got him. When he was in the net, you know, it was kind of like a sign of relief.
Yep.
Like, lifted that thing up, and, you know, let's just say our family isn't the best with netting, aka me. I lost a big bass for him. So we got it, though, and fun experience. Yeah.
43-inch muskie, and yeah, I was nervous too as Dad trying to net that thing, and it was screaming. Chowed his all-terrain mighty jig and jig worm, and he battled it, fought it awesome, and landed a new company or cabin record 43-inch muskie, just a fat fish. You can see that fish posted on the Matt Johnson Outdoors Facebook and Instagram if you want to look. It's just a few posts back. You'll see that big muskie that Jack caught. Pretty darn cool. Like I said, otherwise, some transition stuff coming on. I think we're going to see some stable weather this week. Actually, I think we're going to see a lot of mid-70s for highs. An absolute beautiful week. Of course, it's got to be the week the kids go back to school. Is arguably going to be the nicest week of the summer. Hey, I'm not going to argue. Today, Sunday, yesterday, most of Saturday, and then tomorrow, Labor Day, looks like another beautiful day. And then this entire week, I'm excited to get back out. This is my favorite time of year to fish. From Labor Day until we put the boats away is some of my favorite time to fish. I love it. I think the big fish move shallow, they get aggressive, they thicken up. It's a blast. I'm excited to get out there and chase down fish here the next few weeks and continue to follow this transitional window bite. Football season's kicking off. You got your first football game next week. Mm-hmm. Vikings play next week. There's so much things to look forward to here. You excited?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I mean, honestly, normally I just want to fish every day. Football coming up, I don't know, but my mom gets kind of annoyed because I watch every NFL game. It's like, there's gonna be a lot of good games, and go
Vikings.
Vikings.
Score touchdowns?
I'm not that fast.
All right, well, no, it's been a good week. Like I said, make sure you check out some of those transition lines. There are some fish on the weed line still. We're seeing some fish move shallow. Don't negate shallow water. We've been beating you on the weed line stuff here the last few months. A lot's changed here in the last week. We are seeing more and more fish every day move shallow. And I think with these nights dropping into the 50s and daytime highs only in the low 70s, you're going to see those water temps continue to drop. Like I said, we're in low 70-degree water temp. You're going to see them drop all night, and they're going to have a hard time getting back above 70 here pretty quick. And we're going to see some shallow water movement. So if you're struggling to get your fish, trying to find schooling fish out deep on the body of water you're on, try shallow and don't think you can go too shallow as these things start to mix up a bit. We caught fish as shallow as 2 feet this weekend, and the docks are starting to light up too. It's just a good time to be out fishing, and it's comfortable. It's beautiful outside. We're gonna get after it. It's the fall transition. Get out there, have some fun, and hopefully everyone enjoyed their Labor Day. Hopefully everyone had a phenomenal summer. We're gonna hit you up with another month worth of reports, and then usually sometime in October, we call her quits. Open water season for a lot of people is done. We start thinking about ice, the sport shows kick off, and it's a change in actual fishing season. So if you get out there again this week, have some fun, catch some fish for us. We rocked it. Catch you next week. Thanks.